Precdiction looked good against Johnny Walker, but yeah, not as technical. And I think McBarkin's gonna out technicalness him. So that's the big McBarkin by decision. Next up, we got Kiefer Crosby versus Sam Patterson. I'm gonna have to go with Kiefer Crosby. He fought Kevin Jussier. It was like a kickboxer, and it was a good scrap. In the first round, he looked pretty good on the feet, and then he tried to go for a judo throw that like he did not have whatsoever. And Sam Patterson just like got a body lock, took his back super easy, and then locked in a choke with like zero resistance whatsoever. And yeah, you can't be doing that, bro. Especially against Sam Patterson, who's pretty much exclusively a grappler. Like, that's just not it, bro. You're getting cooked. Like, he didn't even defend the rear naked choke. He just let him sink that shit in. Didn't fight the hands, didn't do nothing. It was very strange. But with that kind of submission defense, you have to go with Sam Patterson. But Crosby could low-key, like, land an overhand on his tall-ass posture, you know, chin wide in the air, kind of like how I fight. Alright, next up, Obon Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I'm gonna go with, oh yeah, Preston Parsons. I think he's the way better fighter. Yeah, Obon. Who'd he lose to? Maybe he won. No. Oh yeah, he beat Val Woodburn. He got rocked by Val Woodburn, bro. And his grappling was just like better, but I feel like Val Woodburn's grappling was just ass, which is why he won that fight. Preston Parsons beat fucking Matthew Semelsberger in a decision, and he looked like a phenomenal grappler, like very good grappler. And so I don't think Obon is going to be able to out-grapple him at all. So I've got to go with Preston Parkins. I think he looks way better on the feet. I think his grappling is better. He's stronger. He's like bigger, like built out more. And he's just he's fought the better competition. So I'm going to go with Preston Parkins. Next up, for some reason, oh, this is not on the early prelims. What the heck? Hold on. Oh yeah. Next up, this is like way out of order. Fucking Google has it cooked up. Sorry. Next up we got Modestus Bukauskas versus Marcin Bragnew. I'm gonna have to go with, oh, this is actually kind of a hard one. I think it's gonna be a pretty close fight. Yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of boring. But Kauskas has looked pretty decent, honestly, in the Victor Petrino fight. I thought he didn't look too bad. His boxing was really good. But so has Bragnew as of recent. I think this is like the definition of a pickup. But I'm gonna have to go Bragnew. I feel like he's got more momentum, and he's just been looking better lately compared to Modestus. Alright, next up we got Jake Adley versus Colin Loughran. I actually like this fight a little bit more than Roman Tavares, just because Jake is more of a grappler. You know, he is coming up from flyweight, so that's the big question, is like how just kind of overwhelm Bruna, and I don't think Bruna has the ability to get respect from a fighter like Molly, and I think she's gonna either grapple and like submit her ground and pound, or find the KO on the feet. So I've got Molly McGann by TKO. Next up, we got Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda. I've got Daniel Wood. This is probably my most confident pick on the entire card. Daniel Pineda is kind of like a Michael Johnson. Like sometimes he looks really good and sometimes he does not show up. But I'd say overall he looks like a much worse fighter than Nathaniel Wood. I think Nathaniel's gonna grapple. I think it's just gonna fuck him up. He's like so good technically, even though I always root for the people fighting him. And Daniel Pineda is just more of a brawler. His boxing is kind of nice, good power, and like kind of low hand position. But yeah, he can crack, and so there's always that risk that he just hits the chin of Wood. But I'm gonna go Wood, and this is one of my more competent picks, unless Wood gets like injured or some bullshit. Alright, and the last fight on the prelims. And the last fight on the prelims is Manel Kape versus Mohamed Makayev. I actually saw Mohamed Makayev fight live, and I've watched him fight Charles Johnson. It was a boring ass fight, and yeah, he's just a good wrestler, and he has like solid cardio. That's about it. Not great on the feet, not very dangerous, but decent submissions and good wrestling. And I think that could pose problems for Manel, because Manel's biggest weakness is he's not very active. He has like zero fucking volume. He's all like counters and setting up like smart shots and fucking executing on him and going ham. And I think he could get like an uppercut or flying knee against Makayev. But I could also see him getting just taken down and outstrengthed on the ground. But I low-key kind of want to go for Manel because I think he's a little bit of a higher level fighter. How old is he? Miguel. Let's see. Or Manel. 30. Oh yeah, he's only 30. And Makayev is still only 23, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Manel Kape by round 2 KO. Alright. Now we're gonna switch to soft speaking. Next up. Oh wait. Next up, we got Arnold Howell versus Giga Chikadze. I love Giga. His name is one of my favorite names to say. It's just so fun. I would love to be named Giga. 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 skilled fighter. So next, we got Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez. This is a tough one a little bit, but I think I'm going to go with Gregory Rodriguez because I think he's going to grapple. If he doesn't grapple, Christian Leroy Duncan is definitely live for a TKO or a KO. Gregory's been caught before, and he's like hella unpredictable, so I could definitely see him catching him on the feet, so I wouldn't be confident with Gregory, even though he has good fundamentals and good power, but yeah, he's gonna grapple him, bro. Come on. Let's be real here. Like, Gregory's definitely gonna grapple, and I think he's gonna be successful with it, because I don't think Duncan's takedown defense is that good, so yeah, he has great jiu-jitsu, so I think he's gonna submit Duncan round 1. It's a bold pick right there, but it's good. Next up, we got Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. This is a tough one too. I think this is a very close fight on paper. I kind of favor Paddy a little bit, honestly. I used to kind of hate him and always wanted to lose. I was praying on his downfall, but he's been looking good lately. Like, he keeps improving every time he gets in there, and I think he can get past Bobby Green. Bobby Green is like a Tony Ferguson character. He's very hit or miss, and so he could box the fuck up out of Paddy and defend his takedowns, but I could also see him getting his back taken and getting choked out along the fence, which I think is going to happen. So I'm going to go Paddy Pimblett, round 3 submission. But Bobby definitely has a chance. This is not an easy matchup for Paddy. Next up, we got Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades. I saw this fight too in person, and I was so sad when he got injured. But it was a great fight up until that point for the 15 seconds it lasted. But I'm going Tom Aspinall. It's hard not to. I mean, grappling is very good. Striking is amazing. He's way faster than Curtis. He could get caught with an overhand right because he keeps his chin in the air, but I think he's going to be way too fast for Curtis. And yeah, I think he's just going to catch him with a 1-2. Because Curtis, he should grapple more, but lately he's been trying to strike because he got to that level when you're a grappler and you kind of figure out striking a little bit to a level where you have your own style. And he was trying to do that shit versus Sergey Pavlovich. It's like, what the fuck? And I think he's going to try to do that with Tom Aspinall and get cooked. If he grapples, I mean, we've never seen Tom Aspinall against a good wrestler, so he might get some success within the takedowns, but I'm definitely more confident in Tom Aspinall, so I'm going to go Tom Aspinall by round round 1 KO. Why not? Finally, Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad, the main event. I'm kind of excited for this. I think Bilal has a chance, absolutely. And I was thinking about picking him because he's looked better and better every time he gets in the octagon. He's still a bit of a meme, but he's actually improving. He's a lot bigger, more muscular. And him training with Islam and Khabib and shit, I think turned him into a much greater fighter. And I think he has a real chance against Leon because he doesn't have the same kind of wrestling as Usman or Colby, where they just grind and try to, get the double leg or the single. Bilal does these trips, which I love. They're so effective, especially in the Luque fight where he just kind of shoots and then uses his leg to trip at the same time, and he always gets that takedown. It looks so clean.
Um, so yeah, I mean, he's been getting better every time, and I could see him having success with the takedowns, and especially over a long time. But that being said, I think Leon is way more dangerous on the feet and has a lot more power that Bilal's going to need to respect. Um, and his takedown defense has been looking amazing, to be fair. So it's going to be hard to pick Bilal, but I've got a feeling, low key, I've got like a underdog vision. I feel like Bilal's gonna win the decision, or just take him down and crunch him, or maybe like a submission or something. But it's hard to pick him. I do think Leon Edwards has more of a chance of winning, but I just got a feeling, bro. I'm going with the boy. Remember the name, Bilal Muhammad. So those are my predictions for UFC 304. Hope you enjoyed watching.